Over the weekend, Sudan's government strongly condemned Uganda after President Museveni met with Rapid Support Forces leader Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, popularly known as Hemeti, last Friday at State House in Entebbe. However, news of the meeting was met with consternation in Khartoum. According to a statement by Sudan's Foreign Affairs Ministry, the meeting amounted to a grave insult to humanity and to the Sudanese people and a flagrant violation of international law.
The nearest law that you could claim there is a violation is sovereignty. There is a broad understanding in international law that states don't interfere into internal affairs of a country. So the assumption of Sudan government would be that by meeting these people, President Museveni is interfering. But that is cured or waved away by the fact that President Museveni has been appointed by AU to mediate in that matter.
I believe one thing Sudan is saying, there was no transparency, there was no disclosure. Because if it was in the interest of peace, then you ought to notify the other side and the nature of the engagements.
The Sudan government says Uganda's move to host Dagalo disregards the innocent lives lost and supports rebellion against Khartoum's legitimate government.
Their embassies here, I've met the ambassador a couple of times. The embassy is peaceful and is doing normal duty of diplomatic relations, and I hope that they don't reach that extent.
Our President, His Excellency's explanation for why he was doing it, he said that Uganda and Africa needs to evolve past identity politics and towards interests. And what he's trying to say there is that as a country, Uganda should be looking at how they can secure their interests with the RSF that is looking more and more likely to win the war.
Sudan has warned it could take all necessary diplomatic measures to respond to the step taken by Uganda. However, critics argue that the worst Sudan can do is to hold Uganda's imports to the troubled country. Uganda's annual exports to Sudan were valued at approximately $66.67 million in 2024, with major components including coffee, tea, and iron or steel products.
Sudan is one of the big markets we have. If we are to act as peacemakers, we must act in openness and with honesty as a country.
They could also choose to sever off diplomatic relations because we have both embassies there. But I think our embassy is not even effective now in Sudan. They would be the one to lose. Why? Because the embassy in Sudan, because of insecurity, many of them withdrew, not only Ugandan embassy.
Whatever happens, it seems Uganda is ready to face the music. But can the ongoing mediation efforts yield the desired results?
If leaders could solve problems, they would have solved their country's problems. And if Museveni was the one who was appointed to mediate the war in Sudan, then Mohamed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia was also self-appointed to mediate it. Was it mediated? Absolutely not. It was less covered. So I don't believe that it will help in mediating anything. The war is still happening even if you guys are not seeing it.
A lot of people always assume that peace can come from mediation, but history has always shown peace always favors the person who wins the war, and then things start over.
Uganda has not yet responded publicly to the condemnation. Sudan's sharp rebuke of President Museveni's meeting with Dagalo highlights the growing tensions between Kampala and Khartoum as Sudan's devastating civil war continues. Daniel KIBET, NTV.